Hello. Um, if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I pretty much dropped off the face of the earth last year. I think it was last year, possibly the year before. I'm afraid to look back and see when my last video was, but in any case, I'm back and I'm continuing on with Julia Cameron's um, The Artist's Way. So when I left off, it's no surprise to me that I left off during why I left off during the power chapter because I often in my entire life have felt powerless and I really didn't know how to approach the topic. So, in classic me style, I just dropped it and I didn't pursue it. I didn't offer any explanation. I just ran away. So I'm back and I'm going to continue on with this chapter. So if you start at the beginning, you'll see I don't have proper editing equipment. It's a little better now, but I have no interest in doing that. I just want to get a message out and continue on with my life because the more difficult or challenging or work intensive something is for me, my brain will just shut down and get overwhelmed. So, what I want to do is stay in the excitement of this project and share it with you. And hopefully, you can share back some of your own experiences with me or with us, or maybe a community will build. I have no idea. Maybe one person will see it, and that's it. That's fine too, but I'm just excited to do it. So, today I'm talking about power, and what I'm coming from is a year of intense events, both good and challenging, that really kind of were extreme and threw me for loops. And through it all, out of it all, came a greater sense of spirituality and a greater sense of power, which I'm excited about. And I just got goosebumps when I said that. I love that. So that's what I want to share with you and where I started and where I am now. So, my life, my childhood, I don't think was an enjoyable experience. It wasn't. And I say that, and I don't, you know, I have trouble owning that because I've often had a lot of people in my past tell me that either it was my fault or um, I'm crazy and I should be grateful for what I had. But what I had was, my mother was raped when that's how I was conceived, and then she left me with my great grandparents. Um, and from what I hear, it was a surprise that she left the province, and so they took me in and cared for me. But the time was shared with a couple who, one had a brain injury and would fly off the handle and violently yell at me. And this was from birth, from my earliest memories, just at the drop of a hat, just yelling like violently and scaring the bejesus out of me. And the other was so passive and just wanted to disappear that she couldn't help me. So I had really grew up feeling like there was no one in my corner. I adored my dad, my great grandfather, but he passed when I was 10, and from that point on, everything changed, and I basically became invisible. And my grief wasn't nurtured, my existence wasn't nurtured. I was a hindrance to everything, so to everyone around me. And I heard that a lot, and I was criticized a lot for a lot of the way I was, scrambling to cope, which was just wanting to die, basically. So I spent a lot of my life in that kind of low energy and struggling, and I feel like looking back, the more I struggled, the more struggles came my way. So uh, through this year, I've really had some golden moments, which I appreciate greatly. And luckily, those came through in spite of some challenges, some constant challenges. And so I'm just kind of enjoying, trying to be grateful, and a lot of little miracles happen every day for me, and I recognize that now. And I'm kind of riding that wave, and so appreciative of the things that have come my way. I stopped drinking in May, and I've kind of nurtured a greater spiritual connection because of that. And I don't do any drinking or substances anymore, and that's really kind of opened my energy up quite a bit, because I feel like I wrote it down. I wrote a lot of notes, so bear with me. The alcohol. This is what I wrote. I'm going to read it. I'm sorry for reading in front of the camera, but alcohol was my way of agreeing with the negative voices that were in my head, the negative, all the lies that were told to me about how I was awful and not good enough. And so drinking became, I think, in hindsight, it was like I was signing a contract with all those lies. I was signing a contract. I was agreeing with the universe that there was no way up. There was no way to level up. There was no way to gain, to actually embrace the power that I had as an artist, as a creator, as a human, as a functioning, member of the community. I felt like I wasn't any of those things, and I, when I drank, that really blocked a lot of my spiritual connection, which was always so important to me. And it always gave me hope and gave me fulfillment and gave me energy. But for some reason, I listened to everything in society that says, spirituality equals religion equals keeping people down and controlling and being submissive and sinful. And that's not the case. Spirituality is a way to open up and get to your higher purpose. And it really is very fulfilling for me. And I actually love it and enjoy it. And so often I'm afraid to say that, but I am thrilled every time I connect with spirit. And that for me has always, about 10 years ago, a friend of mine took me to Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, to do a small drumming circle with a friend of hers who was the daughter of a local shaman. And I believe she was Mi'kmaq, but I apologize if that is not correct information. But anyways, it was a life-changing, powerful experience, and I'm so grateful because it really did open my eyes to a different way of meditating. And I've never been one for mindfulness. I never got a lot out of it, and I actually approach mindfulness in a different way now. But I think that that experience, that small circle that we had with prayer, and the journey I went on, I saw a lot of symbolism, a lot of connection to spirit. It was actually a journey in my mind's eye, and I still get goosebumps when I think about it. But that was a turning point for me when I connected that way. It kind of opened a door. And I think that's true, when you're in those moments or when you're with those people who connect to spirit, that raises your vibration too. And you're able to tune in to that frequency and open open those doors for your own spirit, your own experience, to connect with spirit. And I think many people think that they can't do that, but I've been really, in this last year especially, I've always appreciated the times when I could sit and meditate and get those connections again, because they when I'm stressed, and in the past jobs that I've done have been very stressful. Just various circumstances weren't good for me, but um, I couldn't always do that. I couldn't, the stress really kept my vibration low. So I'm less stressed now. I have a little time to foster those things in my life, and I am grateful. And I think that I want to share a little bit about that with you, or I have been, and I'm going to continue to do it for another 5 minutes or so. So, anyways, this is all going to tie into the idea of power, I promise, and the chapter itself. So bear with me. And if you're bored, you would have shut it off by now. So whatever. What I'm doing now, and I've been watching a lot of, if you're interested in this, I will let you know that you should check out Next Level Soul podcast on YouTube. It's probably available in other areas, but I watch the videos on YouTube and they're amazing. He is amazing. Alex Ferrari is a gift. And anyways, I've learned a lot through watching those. And I have been nurturing that connection to spirit, and always like learning and approaching it in a different way and seeing what works and what is actually very kind of um, increasing my vibration and increasing the connection and the messages that I receive. So I've always been interested in the supernatural and the idea of the mediumship and channeling. And I never thought that was something that I could do. When I look back, I think I've always done it and not known. And a lot of people who do that will understand. I think that you hear a voice that is giving a message that kind of hits you out of nowhere, or you have a thought out of nowhere that encourages you to do something that you didn't even think of doing, you wouldn't think of doing, and you do it, and it just sends you on a path of joy and bliss, or wow, I didn't even know that, or that didn't occur to me. So those are channeled messages. I really believe that when you're in the moment, you're in the flow, you're forgetting it yourself, getting out of your own way, or however you want to put it, those messages come through. And they're, I've learned to kind of raise my vibration, take that energy that you feel when you get those goosebumps or when those moments of joy happen, and you take that energy that's surrounding your whole body and you focus on it and increase it and find that heart joy and just focus on that, and you know increase it, and the love and the energy and the vibration, like you can actually feel a vibration, and using that and having an intention to connect to spirit. All of that is the perfect um, fertilizer for connecting. And what I've learned to do through watching a lot of different mediums is that automatic writing, which I thought was something that, you just put your hand to paper and they would actually move your hand. No, it's basically the morning pages. So when you're doing that and you get out of your own head and you just ask spirit a question, just ask, what do I need to know today? Lee Harris is also very good medium to watch, and he's so helpful, and he shares, there's no gatekeeping in that community. He shares everything, and it's so helpful, and it's like so fulfilling. But put the date. What do I need to do to know today? And just start writing, and just don't think about it. Like, have the intention to connect to spirits, and there are other things you can do, like say a prayer, or you can come up with your own rituals to foster a good environment for them to come through, and have the intention and the desire to do that, and really those messages from your higher self, or from source, or from the universe, or spirit guides, or however you want to phrase it. That's your personal business, and whatever resonates with you is how you do it. But I did meditate on that chapter in the book, the chapter of power, and I was still struggling with how to approach the topic of power in relation to life and to creativity. And really, life is creativity. So sorry, I'm flipping through the pages. I have these headphones on because I don't have a proper microphone. So hopefully the audio is okay. But I asked last night, I really wanted to pursue these videos again because I enjoyed going through the 12 week Julia Cameron Artist Way program. So, anyways, I said, Spirit, please tell me what power is. And I'm just going to read what came through, and you can decide. Dear Lee, power is all as one. Power is spirit bubbling up excitedly out of our heavy bodies. Power is the energy exchange between you and another being, a person, the ocean, nature, houseplants, animals, art, source, angels. There is a great power when two or more come together in love, hope, or creation. When you reach outside yourself to let go, get big, raise your vibration. When heart aligns truly with spirit and you're in the flow, forgetting all of your heavy weight, your brain matter, overthinking, unimportant body memories, release them, play, pray, and it will come. Join in the fun. Power is enjoyment. That's what they said. And I asked for, been getting a lot of messages on collaboration, and that's also something I struggle as somebody with social anxiety and often low self-esteem, not gonna lie. I struggle with the idea of collaboration, and I know in my heart that it's so important to connect with other people, and I love it when it happens, but sometimes just getting to the point where, you are in an environment to connect with people, that is hard to do. So, and I think, in these times of computers and phones and texting, you don't have to connect. Like it's such an easy way out, but it's important. And so I asked for clarification on collaboration. And this is the message that I received. Your purpose here on earth is to bring together experiences of creation and connection. The brunt of being an artist is often isolation. The key to successful creation is collaboration. That is where the juicy power resides. When two or more gather, the key to this objective is to remember or know that the second entity does not always have to be human. Creation or creative process is never done only by one. It is always a collaboration between the artist and spirit and paper, paint, pens. The idea itself is also an entity that desires existing in the third dimension. They too are called, as we are. The universe is a collaboration, a collective experience. Creating one thing sometimes is no different. So creating something is a collaboration. You don't have to always be with another person. I find it very hard to let go and create and get in the flow when someone else is in my bubble. So I'm often more creative when I'm alone. But like Spirit said, I'm never alone. I'm always with Spirit or with the energy of creation and the idea that wants to be created. When you can't light a candle with just a match. You need something to ignite the match. You need a spark, and you need air. So you don't only need a match or just flame. The flame has to come from somewhere. So everything is a collaboration. And I was hung up on that for a long time, but appreciate the process. And often these messages, when you do meditate, if you're working on the morning pages, uh, just try it. Just ask a question, say a prayer, or get in, a nice meditative state. And it doesn't have to be deep. Just say a prayer and start writing. And I often heard, when I first started doing it, I would hear write, like WRITE. I would hear the word right. And because I get a lot of images when I meditate without pen and paper, I get a lot of sometimes cryptic images, like I don't know what you're trying to say to me. I've connected to family members. I've connected to friends, who I adored, who I didn't get to spend a lot of time with, or I stopped myself from spending a lot of time with them before they passed away. I've had those rich, fulfilling connections through spirit, through meditating, through asking the questions, and believing that, you know, I am open enough to want to connect. The desire to connect is enough. And that your higher self, your soul purpose, wants you to do that. And they have messages for you to help you. And I think our spirit guides, our guardian angels, they're all there to help us. And, in these days, I think we're all struggling a lot with a lot of things. And to be able to, put one foot into the universe and put one foot towards a more fulfilling life, which doesn't have to be luxury yachts. And although that would be nice, and like travel is something I want to do. I want to travel the entire world. I want to see every corner of the world, and I'm betting that I'll get to do that. But I think that if you desire a greater connection and your life seems so small and you're struggling to just create, write a poem or draw a picture or do a collage, if that's a struggle for you, then try this. Try something different. Give it a whirl. If you have an ounce of belief, then I think that you can work with that. So, what do you got to lose, right? It's fun. It's enjoy the experience, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. And I'm curious to see how this goes. So, thank you so much. I didn't think I could talk for that long, but I appreciate your time. And join me next week. I'm going to do these weekly and Monday or Tuesday, and I'll upload them. I'm not going to edit or do any crappy effects. I'm just going to upload them and get on with my life. So, adios. I love you all. Thank you so much.